Okay, I am live for you guys again. I hope everyone is having an awesome summer, which has almost come to a close. I actually didn't do much this summer, but I did get a chance to kind of like go for ice cream, go for walks, and spend time with family. So I had an amazing summer, and I hope you guys did as well. So today, the topic of this video, which is a little bit different than what I usually talk about, which is like relationships and healing your soul. I actually want to talk about something a little bit more measurable and something that relates personally to my life. Is comedy a career? Hmm. Hmm. So I made some points about it that comedy itself, it's a very healing art form, and the reason I'm talking about it on my channel is because that's part of healing. It's how people heal. I personally love comedy. I love romantic comedy movies. I love stand-up comedy. If I was ever to get like cable, which I probably never will, the only package I would pick would be the comedy package with all the comedy channels. Um, I wouldn't even bother with the basic package because comedy is just something that speaks so clearly to my soul, and it just helps me make sense of this confusing world that we live in, and just coming to terms with myself and my growth. And I think comedy has been a little bit helpful in helping me cope with a lot of painful stuff in my life. So I just want to let you guys know, personally, I myself would have loved a career in comedy because comedy just makes you um, see the minuscule blessings that we have, and it just puts everything into a brighter perspective. Sorry, I'm putting light, I'm making the screen a bit brighter too. But yeah, comedy is something that I will probably be involved in for the rest of my life, whether through my funny Twitter posts or when I'm having like an epiphany, or just if I'm having a bad day or I want to relax, I want to watch comedy. That's how I personally get off. But I can never be with someone who's not funny or doesn't know how to make jokes. So comedy itself means different things to different people, but to me, it means just life and enjoying the finer qualities of it. And I love wordplay because I'm a writer. So for me, it's like a double bonus. Now, comedy itself as a career, for some of you who are looking at it from that perspective, I would say it's actually more of an art form than a career because there are so many layers to it. You have to have good writing skills, good punchlines, and if you're going into stand up, you have to like know how to deliver to an audience and like know what your audience wants. It's a lot of different elements that are present, and all of those elements have to basically combine together to make comedy. If you think about some of the most successful comedians of our time that I personally worship, not that they're God, but just their work has tremendously affected me, helped raise my self esteem, and helped me make sense of the world. I would say Jim Carrey and Steve Carell and Tina Fey. Those would be my three most favorite. I love the writers of SNL, Saturday Night Live, for those of you who don't know, because like but even when I was back in university, I just always wanted to be a writer for them. Their wordplay and their work ethic, and just the types of um, political mocks that they engaged in, and the way they handled the news of the world. For example, the Trump and versus Hillary campaigns and the elections, and the way they kind of handle the state of the and state and political affairs of America. I I simply adore it because what SNL does is they take the big picture ideas, they break it down for the masses and the working class, and they make them aware of what's going on in like a humoristic way, because some of the stuff that's going on is not actually like beneficial to the working classes. So in that way, I think Saturday Night Live would be like the best comedy gig in the world. Uh, so yeah, so I think that as a career, I wouldn't look at it just to be a comedian. If you want a career in comedy, you have to have the multifaceted degrees of being able to enmesh different ideas together, as well as have all those different skills like writing, editing, presentation. And in order to mix that together, you can view it as more of an art form than anything else. And for comedy itself, I also, because I love it so much, I wanted to unpack some of the actual benefits of it. I kind of touched on those a bit, but it actually helps us unpack our personal emotional baggage, and it serves as a form of catharsis. Semi catharsis, semi entertainment, because you're still laughing. It's like something like that gets you off your out of your mind and makes you laugh, but it's also cathartic because a lot of it is true, and a lot of it deals with the pains of human existence. But comedy is meant to be taken with a grain of salt because not everything they say is real. Like, hello, we all know that. And comedy is also not always rooted in reality. For example, a lot of TV shows you see, oh, they're so funny, but like in reality, a lot of them, the type of messages they send across, the type of messages that they try to portray in those comedy shows, for example, some sitcoms, those messages don't always line up with reality. For example, Big Bang Theory, like I know there's a lot of fans for it, but it's actually a pretty misogynistic show. And one of the YouTube philosophy channels, Wisecrack, actually did a video on it that I really liked because they touched up on the same topic about how it's misogynistic, and I completely agree. Then another one was Freaks and Geeks, which also is a little bit too close to home because growing up I was always more of a geek, also a freak, and I don't think it matches up with reality at all because when you get out of high school, being a geek is not a bad thing because you learn stuff and you have stuff to talk about, and there's like layers to you, and you kind of like always stay as that geeky person, but you realize that self-acceptance is possible despite whoever you are, no matter how freaky you are. So yeah, also the last thing I want to touch upon is the importance of celebrating comedy, because I truly believe the world needs more laughter, more joy, more fun, and we should work to celebrate it as an art form instead of rejecting it um, simply based on our personal tastes. I do think that even if I don't necessarily agree with the message of a show, if it has entertainment value, if it has value for its audience, I'm not gonna knock that. That's great. Maybe it doesn't work for me, but comedy itself in all its rhetoric and agenda is just simply so alluring for just my soul. So that is my bit on why comedy is not a career, but more of an art form. And if you want to turn into a career still, good luck to you. I wish you all the best. Bye.